guess as far as, I know you kind of focus on doing your own thing, but I'm wondering if there have been any signs that you've seen just in your goings around that people are kind of starting to notice that, hey, this team's off to a hot start and you know, some of the work that guys are doing. Are there signs that, you know, you've seen that people are kind of catching on?
Yeah, my daughter's excited about watching us play, so that's a step. But other than that, I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. You recognize that we're where we're at, but I think one of the reasons we're where we're at is because we haven't worried about the things that we don't get to control, and that group's done a really good job of that up till this point, and that's today they were good, right back at it, and going back to work. So happy with what their detail's been so far this week.
You had to address that with the group or the leadership group, trying to say, hey, we're on this path. Don't start worrying about people having attention on you or anything like that. To keep on your message here.
You know, I don't want to create something that's not there. So I haven't seen that from the group yet. If I do, we will address it, just because, again, at this time of the year, we better turn the page in a hurry, because I don't know if you watched, but I did. Michigan scored a lot of goals last weekend. They're playing extremely well, and we're going to have to be good. It's nice to be coming home. Now we've got to take advantage of being at home. We did that the first opportunity that we had here when we played Augustana, and so really that's what our focus is this week.
Mike, a couple of weeks ago, we asked, or you said that you're going to learn a lot about this team after the 6-game road trip. It's over. What have you learned from this team, and is there anything that surprised you or you're pleasantly surprised about?
Yeah, I'd say first of all, and I've addressed it with our guys after Thursday's game. I just said, you know what, I've been impressed with you guys. You're resilient. To go on the road and be down the amount of times that we were over those 6 games, and to just stick with it, I'm hoping that's a quality that defines us throughout the entire season, not just this little pocket that we've had in the first 8 games, but that's been something I've been very excited about. And it hasn't been coaxed by the staff. That's come from within. It's come from our leadership group, the guys that, chose that leadership group are following. And so that's been a positive. Second thing is when we were talking about our start, we didn't exactly know what our goaltending was going to be. And Kyle McClellan's answered that. He's given us an opportunity to win games every night. And when you talk about trying to have some sustainability throughout a beginning of a season, I don't know many programs that know, they hope, you just don't know if you're going to get it. And we've gotten it. And so kudos to him. And again, I think he put 2 people. Murdoch, our goaltending coach, has done a really good job with our group of 3. But then I want to give Kyle and Grace, our nutritionist, and Tommy Inkrot, our strength coach, a lot of credit for preparing him for the opportunity that he's had right now. He really worked hard on dialing in his nutrition and having pro habits, and I think he's benefiting from that right now.
Have you had any of your players ask about more protection, resistant equipment out of the tragedy that happened last weekend? And I know that's a big topic around hockey right now. I don't know where things stand.
Not yet, but I think it's something, we're open to those conversations because at the end of the day, this is just a game. And so, just feelings go out to, entire family, the Bulldog family, and really just the sport at recognizing, is this something we need to be concerned about and talk about and make sure we're doing as people that are mentoring these young people, can we put them in a spot to make sure that they're safe, or as safe as they can be playing this sport. But we haven't addressed it specifically, but like I said, I want to make sure that our guys understand that if they want to talk about that, we definitely will.
Any progress with Strable or Wingmore getting back?
Yeah, Charlie went through a whole practice today, uninhibited, no, non-contact jersey, anything like that. Now I just want to make sure we're getting him back and getting him into condition so he can get back in the lineup.
That being said, the guys that have stepped into the third.
Yeah, there's some competition there, yeah, and we were fortunate those guys were prepared. Otherwise, we're not where we're at as far as our non-conference. And then getting into conference this last weekend, we've had different guys step up at different times, as you and I have talked about. And, knock on wood, we can have a healthy week.
You talked about Michigan scoring in goals. What makes them so effective offensively?
Talented, depth, up front, back at the blue line. They're feeling it right now. If you watch them play, they're playing. They're about as good as a support team that I've seen on tape. When they come out of their end, they're connected, and they've got options, and they've got an ability to find those options through the talent level that they have in their roster. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be a difficult out. They're scoring at a pace that you haven't seen in college hockey in a while. When you're over 5 goals a game and doing what they're doing a lot of things right. They're doing it on the power play. They're scoring shorthanded. They're scoring even strength. So there's not a lot of holes in their game right now.
Focus becomes that they're going to get their chances. Don't give them extra ones through split play penalties, missing on assignments on back checks. Did those things take another escalation of importance this week?
I'm smiling just because it sounds like you were sitting in our locker room. Yeah, I mean, they're good enough. We don't want to create, whether it is through those avenues, being undisciplined. Boy, that I know Todd Connaught's got his head spinning a little bit. They score a lot of different ways on their power play. They're not predictable. They'll do it off a rush. They'll do it off a face-off. There's not one set that they use. They give you multiple looks. From that standpoint, we've got to stay out of the box. And then our puck management. I thought our puck management was really good on Thursday. And then I thought some of the decisions that we made on Friday weren't quite as good as they were on Thursday. And, Minnesota took advantage of that.
Joe, he leads you in plus, plus minus, right now. He's at plus 10 now. One, I don't know how much you as a coach kind of put into that whole plus minus thing. And then two, what kind of stands out to you about what you've seen from Joe and just kind of the impact he's been having for you?
First, the plus minus, yeah. I mean, you look at that as a staff. Now, it can't be the end all to be all, because sometimes if you're one of the 5 that are out there, one of the 4 that are out there, and it's even strength, and you weren't a part of the 1, 2, or 3 things that happened before it went in the back of the net. I've seen some guys that have had some pretty good games that have been minus in the game, and it wasn't their night that way away from the puck. But the positive about Joe right now is Joe's not playing like a freshman. He's confident. He's been confident since he walked on our campus in a good way, not in an arrogant way at all. He's just got a lot of confidence in himself, and he should. He played on a team that won a league championship a year ago with Nick Oliver, our assistant coach, and they played all the way to the finals in playoffs, and he was relied upon quite a bit. And he's really walked into our lineup and solidified himself by what he does in the weight room, what he does in practice. His dailies, I think, are giving him a lot of that confidence, because he knows if he does what he's supposed to do as far as preparation, he's going to have an opportunity. And he's been a really big, bright spot, I think, for our staff and for our team as a freshman.
As far as it seems like a handful of your freshmen are sort of in that mold where it seems like they just kind of come in and they're able to not be in awe of the situation. I mean, is that kind of, I don't know, is that a fair assessment?
I think so, and if you look, I'll throw a couple of them out there. You've got Joe, you've got Finley, you've got Whitelaw, and where they came from. Chicago, Youngstown, Fargo, they were with staffs and with teams that had a lot of success throughout their year. The USHL and junior hockey is a difficult place to be consistent at a young age, and those young men did that. And I think it prepared them very well. Thankful for the staffs that they played for, because they've done a great job at preparing them before we had an opportunity to have them here on campus.
Before the season, you talked about having to earn the respect of the fans and bring them back into the Kohl Center. How much do you look forward to having an opportunity to play a team like Michigan in front of the home fans?
Actually, anybody in our own building right now. It's great that it's Michigan, but really, go ahead and look at what Augustana's done since they left our building. There aren't many teams that go out to the state of Colorado and tie Denver and beat CC. One thing that's great about our sport is it'll humble you in a hurry. So for us, we're still trying to stay on that daily piece, but excited about being back home in front of our fans. The guys having an opportunity. We had a pretty good contingent show up family-wise while we were in Minnesota, and I thought that was special for the guys to be able to do that. Now my understanding is we've got a few coming to town to see their young men play, and we're excited about the opportunity that we have to play in our building, but we're going to have to go earn anything we get.
Is this what you envisioned of Simon now that he's fully healthy?
If you were able to get to know Simon previous even to this year, back when he was playing junior hockey, he's got a personality and a smile that kind of lights up a room. And he doesn't shy away from the bright lights. He's got high expectations for himself. I'll use this opportunity to compliment mom and dad, because they've done an unbelievable job at raising a really rock solid human being that's a good hockey player. And when he went through the injury that he went through in salmon arm at the end of his playoff season, that's an injury in our sport, I think, that takes quite a while for you to get your pop back, to get your hop back. And he's definitely getting there. I think he's starting to have a little bit more fun, because there's nobody that's harder on Simon than Simon. So I was really happy to see him have some of the success that he's had early in this season, because he's put a lot of work into that rehab.